And with me now, retired U.S. Army Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer from D.C. and former Navy SEAL and member of the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force, Jonathan Gilliam, here with me in New York. Now, Tony, I'm going to start with you. Sure. You commanded a joint DoD-CIA base that included 2 detachments in Kenya, focusing and supporting special ops in Somalia. What can you tell us about the difficulties that would have been encountered by the SEALs yesterday?
It's a very difficult operating environment, and as pointed out by Jennifer, the intelligence is hugely important to understanding who you're going after, when you're going after them. People, to get into those circles, Judge, you have to basically take a long time. You have to penetrate these tribes. Tribes are very difficult to penetrate. It's a rough environment by the fact that the distance as well. So the fact that we took a shot is good. The fact that we have not got confirmation yet is not so good, but it tells me that we should try, we should continue to try, and this should be one step moving forward and continuing to prosecute the effort against Al-Shabaab.
All right. And Jonathan, reports are that there was a firefight, as Jennifer just said, possibly preventing the SEALs from completing their mission. No capture. What does that tell you?
Well, you got to look at the mission and the full ramification of what it was. So not only was it to kill or capture these individuals, but also to really eliminate or at least try to reduce their ability to actually carry on further attacks. So you have 2 different types of missions that are going on at one time, and there's still not clarification on the big part, which they captured or killed the guy. But we do know, and we see that there will be a diminished ability of Al-Shabaab in the future. Yeah,
but you know, Tony, would, in a situation like this, I mean, do you know if they go in, are you guys given orders to capture or kill? You know, is there a kill order versus a capture order?
Most orders that I've seen, personal experiences, you try to go in and capture. The idea is dead men tell no tales. This is one of the reasons I've talked with you and your audience about the fact that I think we ought to be doing this sort of operation over drones, because to penetrate a network, to defeat a network, you must penetrate the network. To penetrate the network, you have to capture people. So I think we always prefer that, and as your other guest was mentioning, we want to go in there to actually disrupt them as well and gain intelligence. So we do all 3 of these things simultaneously. Obviously, we want to come out with someone alive if at all possible. However, if you can't, eliminating the target, especially someone who conducted such a heinous attack as the mall attack, needs to be eliminated.
And, you know, the fact, Tony, that this was done so soon after what happened in Kenya, and then you juxtapose that against Benghazi, and we haven't even spoken about Libya from being captured from Libya. You know, what does that tell you?
Well, I think part of this, there's a concern that U.S. citizens may have been involved in the attack in Kenya. I think we have seen that members of Al-Shabaab have been recruited from the United States, which is bad. And the other thing now, I think, is that this group has been something on the radar since 2006. We have been targeting them. We have had raids. We killed a high-level Al-Qaeda operative about a year ago. So I think we have to continue to prosecute very hard this target set. With that said, I think we have good access in Libya. I can't answer why we haven't done more things in Libya.
Well, yeah, like pick up Katala, who's walking around drinking cocktails in Tripoli, who's accused of being one of the masterminds of what happened in Benghazi. But Jonathan, what we know about Libya, the guy who was captured in Libya by Delta Force, and I'm curious, guys, I mean, when you decide to use the SEALs if you're close to a shore, and Delta Force, who decides which one comes in?
Not necessarily. The skill set is so evenly matched between the 2 groups that really it comes down to who's in country and who's in rotation in that area.
Right, exactly.
So one of the other things, let's go back to that other mission that you're talking about. There's a ripple effect from Somalia that starts with Kenya. With that attack and the investigation, what you're literally seeing is the ripple effect of the investigation there, which is done by the FBI, and the military is also involved with that. And that pushes into the DoD, and they further their attacks.
Okay. All right, guys, last question. Now, supposedly this guy, Libby, is being brought back to the United States. How's that being accomplished? I mean, they putting them in the back of a tugboat, or I mean, they're strapping them to the wing of an airplane. I mean, how do you guys bring back someone that you take from another country? Right. I'll start with you, Jonathan.
When we do renditions like that, typically the way it would start is first we try to get whatever type of information we can get out of the individual before we bring them back in country. I think what you're running into with this individual is, what was the real mission? Was it more political so that we can get away from this?
But I want to know physically. This guy is now on his way back here. He's out of Libya. Where is he?
What happens is the military will do the attack, and then the HRT takes over and moves
HRT meaning?
hostage rescue team.
Okay, good. And Tony, quickly,
Yeah.
what is your take? Because I got
Well, my take is that we don't have a path to dealing with him right now. We normally would take someone to Guantanamo. They want to try him in the Southern District of New York.
Okay.
I don't think there's a clear path for that right now.
All right, Tony and Jonathan, thanks so much for being with us this evening.
Thank you.
All right, and coming up, more on yesterday's daring terror raids. And now that we've got Al Libby, what do we do with him? We're going to ask the top law enforcement officer in the nation, former top law enforcement officer, and later the latest on the government shutdown. But first, for our Insta poll, what do you think? Should Congress be paid during the government shutdown? Facebook or tweet me at Judge Jeanine. We'll read your answers later in the show.